aneurysm, weakening aorta that needed to be fixed. And then on the way out,
That's the Widowmaker thing, isn't it?
yeah, it is the Widowmaker.
I get tested for that.
I gotta get back there.
At 65, I had to get tested for that.
But if you have a history of it in the males in your family, it runs in the male gene. About every 5 years, you get one. And this was just a thin one. The doctor told me, he said, well, you know, it wasn't going to burst now, but it was here, you know, so
Well, a week is kind of short lived.
it could be right now. You know. So then on the way out the door, what? And arranged it for it. So I was in the hospital for 8 days and survived everything, and everything is fine.
Very good.
Knock on.
Well, glad you're still with us.
Yeah, me too.
Signing this one.
That's, I mean, I am not on the bank account.
You're not a president?
I am, but today you are.
He is on the bank account, but you can sign him, John, because he's got to get started on the meeting.
That's it.
Well, the other ones aren't coming until 6, because that's when we're doing the IEAP part of it.
That makes sense.
We're doing the meeting part of it right now.
Okay.
Correct.
You.
If if you look at this list, God, if you look at this list, you'll see where they're gonna go.
That's fine.
All right, let's call the meeting to order. We have a quorum.
Yes.
Okay. Read and approve minutes of the last meeting. We have a motion.
Make a motion to skip reading.
There.
Right.
Approval of updates for the IEAP. That is what we are going to review tonight.
Well, I've got a couple things that we need to approve before that. So when I was going through it, I found some things that were not correct. So I sent them to Brian. He's supposed to be on here now. Their engineer.
Okay.
So he made, there was 10 pages that needed corrections. So he made those. Some of them are just like, you know, updates to the things to keep it consistent. This one's the media contacts. Sand and gravel and labor materials, but I see there's another correction to that I'm gonna have to make. And then this is the sheet that we'll sign for tonight's meeting. When we go over the IEAP. And then the list for the who has books, which that'll have to be updated because I obviously did books for you guys, so we have to update that. And then we've got the 3 sheets that have the event notifications with the names of the people who to be notified. So that if ever when we're going over, everybody needs to double check to make sure it's correct, but I think I got everything correct on it now. On all 3 of them. So if we can approve those, and then I'm sure, like I said, we're gonna have them once we get done with this.
Question. Are we on the internet?
We are.
Aye.
State Road 9 Bridge Project Engineer McKenna's concerns addressed by a request for review of what was on the bridge, and our engineers did send back some concerns that he had, but what were addressed by him and replied to those things. Nothing was earth shattering, but we wanted to make sure that we were levy somehow, some funny way, to make it up thing that they.
Our engineer was satisfied with the answer
He was
in writing.
in writing. So I think I just need approval that we did our due diligence there and the engineer followed up with it.
Don't move.
I guess I'm not sure what it is, but what is?
I don't understand what we're approving.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be approved. It was just for you
Oh,
to,
sorry.
to let them know that if we had him review it, so there'll be, you know, a small bill for that. Whenever
I was just,
Brian bills us.
I was just concerned that
Brian's in now, by the way.
I was
Finally.
just a little concerned. Not getting all the.
I think that's a legitimate, great.
So
thing we
that's
did.
what we did. Approval of 30 room post in Sycamore Park.
Yes, so around the parking lot, there's all those, we had old telephone poles that we cut in half and put in. Well, we don't have excess telephone poles, although we have a million of them half telephone poles around town. I wish they'd get down. So the guys went down there to look at it and found that somebody, which probably is the people that are working on the dam, because cannot figure out how any other way they would have been able to hit the historic marker and completely annihilate it. Yeah. I am like, how
How
you,
does that
so it
happen?
had to be hit by
A trailer?
a trailer. And they had to be a big trailer that's very heavy
You know, with
because
backhoe
that
on it.
pole is
It's a
solid
backhoe
concrete.
trailer.
The pole's solid concrete and it had, I think, at least 6 pieces of re-rod running through it. So the guy sent me a picture. I just got to remember which guy sent it to me. So you can see it. I was like, I cannot believe that it had to be commercial, because if it was, you know, a regular truck or trailer,
They'd be
it would
annihilated.
be, that would still be down there because they wouldn't have been able to drive away. This picture.
So we have post plus the historical market.
The marker itself, I think, is fine. It's the post. So I'm not sure.
So it's nice. one.
Well, so then after they got down there, they're checking the post because one of the posts is missing in front of that, which it wouldn't have done any good anyway because it was all rotted. So they're all rotted off. They were put in back in early 90s when I first came here. So, yeah. Not much longer. It keeps going like today, but yeah.
So we can.
Are you having a Monday on a Wednesday?
32 room
Then
posts
say
for
for-
$539.
You should do.
That includes the installation cost.
Well, the guys are doing it, so we don't pay them anything.
Are we doing concrete ones?
No, we're gonna do they're 6x6s.
Are they steel?
No, treated. I got a picture of them somewhere. Well, they're the round ones. They're round poles.
But they're treated.
I don't know if they are or not. Don't ask me these questions right now. It might say it. If I can find the heaving sheet I have. Stuff on
How
it.
long are they?
6. Remember right?
About $18 a post.
It is $17.99 a post. Probably left it sitting on my, oh, here they are. Yay. A post. They're 5x8 round wooden posts. And pressure treated pine, 8 feet, 5-inch diameter. I don't know who said it to begin with.
All those in favor?
Who seconded? Steve?
Lee, you're gonna have to explain the next one, trash can and trash bag.
Well, Joe Ryan is supposed to be coming to talk about this, but he takes I need it up a little. So if you look at the thing that's attached underneath your agenda, this is the email from Joe, and he's talking about, I think that is the trash can that's at Miller's.
It
for
is.
The horse refuse. And he, when he was down there working around on the public access pond, he must have talked to some Amishmen that said they would be willing to empty it as long as we provided the can and the bags. Well, fine, but my concern is the bags and where are they going to be stored? And who's going to be in charge of them? Because Lee doesn't need another thing to do. And they would have, well, see, I'm sure that the bags are kept in Miller's and they just go into Miller's because they're open all the time.
You just leave the bags in the bottom of the can. put
And
in the
then
bags on
somebody
top of
will
it.
steal them.
Well, not
and
if
then
there's
we'll
a
be
bag
buying-
already in place.
Right, maybe, but they'll just steal the whole can.
I don't think so.
Well, I'm just saying, I know how people are.
Why is that so?
But I mean, we can try it, and then if it doesn't work, we'll have to come up with another thing, another option, but I would say that until he has somebody specifically that is going to be emptying it, we don't put anything down there. Because if I tell the guys that they now have to clean horse dew along with the dog dew and the dead fish, and I mean, I can go on ad nauseum, they're not going to be super happy. They don't pick it up on the street, so.
But they don't take care of it.
No, but they do a really good job there at Miller's.
Good. I'm just saying, I want the name of the guy that says he's gonna do it. Uh-huh.
No contacts there, do you?
Oh, I'm just saying, that's what we need to let Mr. Vine know, that we need information of who the person is gonna be doing it. So that if there's issues, we can talk to them without having to talk to Joe, go through 4 people to get to the answer.
Can we talk to the same person who does Miller's?
I'm assuming that's who he's talking to, but I don't know. So we'll have to ask him when he comes. Well, I thought he was, but I don't know. Yeah.
All right, moving on. Joe Wright, advanced rules and review plan for public asset access pump. I'm assuming he's not here.
No, I don't. That. I'm not sure he had any contact with, Marilee Environmental. That's who he was trying to get in touch with. I know he sent me several emails that he's couldn't make contact with them, but I think most of that had to do with the weather and it being freezing cold. And I mean, you're not gonna see anything when there's a foot of snow on it, so I just keep him on the agenda until the weather's better. Also, under his second question below the picture was, and I'm not sure, I think he's just asking our permission because it's our area, public access, and putting hoses to water the plant beds, landscaping beds there. And he was gonna get water from Sundays on Sylvan on the south side. And I don't know if he's made any connection with anyone on the north side or not.
I don't know how many times, but they can side by side. They can use it, put the water in back into the side by side instead of trying to hand haul milk jugs down there.
You mean Sarah?
Sarah, yes, thank
Sarah wants to do it by hand because she gets exercise when she does
you.
it.
That's what she told.
So, but this is the other situation of, all those beds, they're long, require a lot of water. Sarah's just watering the baskets.
So I think that they convinced Kelly that he should put a spout on the north side so that you don't have to go around the building to get water. They were talking about trying to do some sort of underground system, and I said that I don't see how you're gonna get across the driveway. I mean, even if you would spend the money to do the first part of it, how would you get across the driveway?
You'd have to bore it.
Right.
You have to bore under the drive. Which I
I
mean,
don't know.
boring's not as expensive as you think it is, but the problem is that there is an upfront cost for them to come out. And it's gonna cost you that no matter what. So if you're gonna do it, you probably ought to have a couple boring jobs to make it worth their while, at least where they get at least half days.
This
work.
may be a continuous thing. Maybe it would be better for us to consider putting down our own well for that.
Oh, God, I am never, I'm just telling you all, never ever doing another well through the state of Indiana. I will quit. It took me 2 years to get the one over there in that building. I will not go through it again. I went through, I think, 6 people that worked for the state of Indiana through the course of 2 years to get that finally approved. It was an excruciating experience.
What if we put it at the bottom of Sylvan Sellers property?
Sylvan,
I mean,
well,
Sundays on Sylvan.
Sundays on Sylvan, that's where theirs is. Theirs is down at the bottom. The thing is anytime you put in a public water that has potential for the public to drink, then you have to test it. You have to do all of these additional things. And it's just not feasible for that location at all. Come in, have a seat. So, I mean, we could look at boring a line through, but I don't know if that's something we want to do. No, because you shut the water off. Correct. So food for thought, you can think about it.
Whole installation. Update.
I'll work on that this next month.
Okay. Update on bike trail next level grant.
Oh, well, I've got the gazebo ordered, so we're moving forward, but you know, we're waiting for weather to get better, because they gotta put the concrete in and they can't put the gazebo on until the concrete's in, so
Where's the people?
it's gonna go down there by the musical park in Gaff Park.
I missed January.
I miss January.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't,
Miscellaneous business, need signature on reconciliation sheets, I believe they've been
oh, I
passed
gotta
around.
go get those. No, I gotta go grab
Campaign
those.
bill, HIB insurance, $138. Eshelman excavating pond, 12 grand. NIPSCO, $300. Green lawn, 4,649. Lee Briner, $2,375. And Quill, what's a Quill?
That's who I get, oh, and this doesn't have the, oh God, this. So there is another bill on there from Quill. Quill's the company we buy our office supplies from.
Okay.
So that 1889 was for a new stamp for the bank deposit. And then I have another one for
Checks.
38.99 for these binders. So I don't know if that total was in there or not. So I think there's another 38.99 that needs to be added onto that total to make it correct. I don't know how that got.
Down by-
Well, if you're a mathematician, figure that out for me. What is that? 7. $519.67. So that's what the bill is.
We have
Uh,
motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Right.
Motion carried.
Do you want to figure out when you want to do your next meeting?
Sure.
Do you want to figure out?
It's in May now.
If I can get to my calendar, I'll be doing good here.
I think Wednesdays have been working pretty good for everybody.
May 13th or June 10th.
Matter. Open up both of them.
Well, maybe we should meet in May. Maybe Joe will have something together by then.
I would think the weather would be starting to break at that point. How exciting.
Down there. Enjoy the moment.
Yeah. Neither way.
May 13th, 5:30. No, I don't know.
I think we should adjourn. Go into the special.
A second.
All those in favor?
We have to wait till 6 now.
We really?
Yeah, because that's when I told people to show up. Paul's supposed to be coming.
I was, having cement concrete done today. The lady asked me if we had seen her 14-year-old daughter had run off apparently this morning. And,
In the middle of the night. She left in the middle of the night.
anyway, her name is Bella. She's 13 years old. I just talked to
Middle of the night.
mom, texted her, and she said they still found her on the. So I told her I would bring it up at the meeting and see as many people as we could. Don't let me forget that if Paul will let my fire.
I'm sure Paul knows about it.
I'm sure they are too. Just to double check. I have a
They
picture.
thought maybe she was on her way to Wookaville. Or going toward that direction.
She was running through the woods.
Yeah. But they thought that she could possibly be heading toward Wookaville.
Well, that would make sense.
We get the names on our phones. You get those up here or not. Were they silver? We're just a
Yeah.
demented person our age, and then the kids were.
Why are you looking at me our age?
Our age. I think we have something in common. They're
The old age
probably-
of the dementia. Which
Yeah.
one? Yeah.
It's a 2-for-1 special. But we get 3 of those a week. Kids take it off missing, describes 13-year-old boy wearing such and such and so.
Apparently she was wearing a blue hoodie and tan Vans shoes, whatever they were. And that's all I got.
Kind of sneaker to skater shoes.
Skater shoes. Her name's
No,
Bella.
how appropriate for a rebellious 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Give it what is the Latin.
No idea where that picture went.
I do have a picture of it.
So while they're waiting. Would you help me with some things with this? Here's some, in a bigger copy.
That's good.
That way it makes it easier when somebody can't do this.
Give you this, did you make me hungry then? You go bad.
Right now, all I've got is.
Yeah. No, I did it. I mean, I didn't do the work on it. We paid to have the. So in the front of those books,
Oh,
I got that off of the damn safety website. I thought it had good information, so I just threw it in the front of your book.
read that.
Yeah, you know, something to sleep by.
You were showing those cards that you have over there. What are those for?
What kind?
When you said that, when you were on the list of people who were on the main sheet, you grab those cards there, are those on separate cards
Yeah.
too?
These things here,
Yeah, are those on separate?
they're
cards?
in your book,
Okay.
but if you don't want to open your book, I got extra. So, yeah, these are, and I'm gonna order tabs. I just didn't have time. And we'll put it so you can read these tabs. Paul's got a thing that he can print that small but I just didn't have time to get that done. And then I gotta get inundation maps
Well,
to put in there. So, like,
I had you.
it's right there. That's where they are.
Okay. All right.
In there already, but
Okay.
Because.
Yeah.
Get to.
All the different lists.
From the shoreline.
I'd like to have one to stick in this pocket so that I can just grab it quick if I need to.
hey, Brian, can you hear me?
Yeah, I am here.
Okay. Can't make you louder. I don't know how to operate this.
Am I
thing.
quiet?
You're a little quiet. Okay, so the inundation map, which is gigantic. Can you see it?
Mhm.
I don't know how to get it to you so we can get copies made. And I have a disc.
Yeah, I was gonna
Well, I
say,
don't
it's
even-
probably,
I don't
I was
even
just
have
gonna
a
say
disc.
that there should be a CD that came in.
Yes, I have one.
Okay, it's
You want me to
probably
mail
on
that to
there.
you?
Yeah, if you could send me the CD, the inundation map is probably in the
Well,
electronic
I
file.
hope so.
Yeah.
See, that says 2007. What's this thing say? That was done. Oh, we're in luck. It might be in there. Because I made extra books. So each of the board members would have one.
Mhm.
Because, I mean, if Jay and I aren't here, somebody needs to know what's going on. And if they don't have books, they can't step in and help.
Mhm.
So we have to get those maps made to put in each of their books.
Mhm. That's not a problem.
If you look.
And then I found a few more things that need corrected.
Okay,
I think one of the board members was talking about something that he saw. So we'll get all that together.
okay. That's not a problem.
Oh, and then, I don't know, there was a section that I found in the clerk's book that had to do with like a more extensive list of like items that we would possibly need if something would happen. So like sandbags, additional lighting, scuba divers, stone riprap, sand and gravel, building materials, concrete, the closest NDOT yard. So I was just going through it and I'll try to update it and then I can send it to you. I think we can put it with that under section 3.
Mhm.
Because you updated section 3 dash 24 already, which I forget what the title of that was.
Yep, locally available equipment.
Yep, we can add it under that then.
Okay, so is that a list that she had like developed herself and added in?
I don't know. Cause I've,
does it have a footer and page number like the rest of the
no,
report?
it's
or
just,
no?
they're just like blank typed pages.
Okay,
So I don't know if they use that to make that, but seems like there's more information on it than what was on there. And then it had an automatic phone dialer operation. Was there anything in the book? So I didn't have time to go back and look through and see if there was anything in there about the auto dialer. That needs to be in there too.
like the 911 dispatch auto dialer
No, this is,
or what?
well, it's the auto dialer that's up at the dam, that silver box.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. Yeah,
So it keeps track of, it's supposed to keep track of the water level.
right.
And then if we have power goes out or whatever.
hmm
So
Yeah,
I
we
just
looked
did
at that during the inspection, remember, and there was some questions on some of the hardware that looked like it had been replaced, and I can go back and look at that. I think there may have been some recommendations in the inspection report about making sure that that was working properly.
The auto dialer, yeah.
Mhm.
And it's good for about another 2 years.
So I'll have to finish working on that. Well, I thought the emergency manager was coming.
Okay.
This is why I don't take these things.
Yeah, she started out. It's cooking.
Yes. They know there's a problem, but then they get really upset when the problem does arrive and no one knows what the heck they're doing. But it's because they
My
don't
father-in-law
what
went
to
to
do
jail
their job
for
to
a while.
give them.
Oh,
That's what it comes down
Couldn't
to.
understand a single
That's what
word.
happened. They didn't.
Oh.
Nobody knew what they were doing.
is that based on
They
the?
were just winging it. Everybody was
No.
just winging it and it went nuts.
Back when we were speaking.
Okay, I'm gonna see if Paul forgot.
Ever see that show? The guy named Boomhauer. If you ever do get to see that show, my wife can impersonate Boomhauer's voice and what he's saying exactly. So when this show comes on, that guy, that character speaks, I look at my wife and go, and she'll translate it for me. So that's exactly what I did.
When did we decide the May meeting was gonna be?
13.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah, we've been to these, I think 3 times. Which, and you like that trip to pretend for a few days that you're mostly just well, the other one was there.
Oh, I know what it's called. The sheet,
A lot of
signature sheet
Oh,
for all 6 of us that are here.
You can tell with her family, full moons around there.
Oh, this is the newest one.
Way, the Bridge and Labor Board pretty much told me I can't do shit because
When
she's more up to the
lost
business.
their father.
Yes, I know. Have you been following the villa?
You got a villa? Out of the villa? No, not at all.
Talk about that afterwards.
Yeah.
Evelyn's got something, but we'll just sign this one.
Okay.
Scrape them out.
That coal in Pennsylvania, and West Virginia, that really good stuff. Hard coal, that.
Please sign.
Wherever that.
I had a runaway from this morning.
We heard, he was telling us,
Running around trying to help find that.
still from this morning still?
Bella.
Tumble capture.
You're in the corner.
It depends if he's red as all points bulletin.
Just in the post office.
Give that to him. So he can give it to. That way I get it signed before and we don't have to worry about trying to sign something when we get ready to leave.
Right.
No, never.
No, you're the very first one.
I never heard that one.
Never asked you.
You're a lot slimmer.
Well, you know.
I think one of them was Reba.
George Hamilton was Colonel Denver for a little while. He probably the big. The guy that's doing it now is well wrinkled. Oh, yeah, the real one.
Yeah, 130. Well, after today.
I invite. I can't make them show up. All I do.
We call him and delay.
No.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think I have anything but an office stuff from him, because I don't think he's ever given me his,
Jay Morley,
so.
nice to meet you.
Oh,
Keith is one of our board members on Sylvan Lake Association.
Okay, welcome.
He agreed to join me, so that we had a couple sets of ears on this brand new stuff to us.
Okay, that's fair enough.
thank you for coming.
So we go around. Cheryl,
I'm Cheryl Clifton.
Here, I'm actually gonna try to let Brian see who the board members are.
Cheryl
Can
Clifton.
you see, Brian?
No, the only thing I see is the camera up in the corner of the room.
Why is that? You know, see my skills at, you have to get up, you'll have to wave then, Cheryl. That camera, that's Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl. I can see waving, so.
And
You can see Wayne.
this is Brian, our engineer.
hi Brian.
I'm John.
So you're next, Jay.
I'm
but
Jay.
thank you. Steve is on the end in the red. And Roberta and Keith represent our Lake Association. And Paul Hoffman obviously is our marshal.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
So if you have anything to input, just let us know.
Okay.
Make them be quiet so they can hear you.
So this page right here. Powerful is then section. We got any kind of. We passed all that
Go
stuff.
past the dam owner stuff. Well, we don't have tabs in there yet, Paul. You and I are working on that. You're too, keep going. You want me to?
Almost there.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going a little bit. The end of that thing right there. Now go forward a little. No, yes, into the document.
There you
Event detection.
go.
Alright.
And I think there's an extra book, Roberta, if you wanna,
So this is mine. This is mine.
well, I think that's not updated. Your old one. I got this one here that, this is the awful copy.
One more.
We want you to first see in this thing is that there's 3 levels. To me, this is backwards, but it's kind of like you have DEFCON, you know, the movie when
Yeah,
you got nuclear problem. Event level 3 is the least problem. Then it's in green. Event level 3 means things are getting pretty serious. And by the time we get to event level 1, we are going to open.
You
So
don't have one.
when you're looking at these things, what we're gonna
It's okay.
do is review each one of these episodes, so, and what the causes. Right, and please feel free to ask questions.
Just Yeah, like that. I'll be able to.
This, you got a question already?
No,
I don't,
we're sharing.
my book didn't have this page in it.
You got it now?
No,
He's borrowing.
I'm sharing Paul's.
We're sharing.
You see the 3 event levels there?
Yes.
Okay, green. Could be bad, probably not. Yellow, probably getting pretty serious. And then, of course, we get to that red level, things are, the stuff that's hit the fan and the
We're gonna run.
water's coming.
if I may make a comment, I think this page is
Thank you.
simplified by saying it's detect, notify, act, and terminate.
All right. This just kind of says summary of the IEAP process. I've got the IA, what does that stand for? The
Instant
Incident
emergency.
and Emergency Action Plan.
Mm.
Thank you. So this is a couple of things that I do every month, and I think I would encourage you to also do this, but I go out on the levee every month. And I take my time, I drive my truck out there usually, but if it's nice weather, I'll walk it. But what you really do is go experience and see what's going on. There's all kinds of riprap and channels and kinds of things. There's a lot of wells that are at the top. There's wells midway down and wells down at the road. And all of that stuff has to be tested each quarter roughly in being in compliance. So part of the big job that we want to do in all of this is not wait for some emergency to occur and then try to figure it out, but is to have a mechanism of reviewing this and making sure that we're in compliance so that if an emergency does come up, we know what the baseline is. Okay.
Can you do this every week or every month?
No, every three times. We actually do it 3 times a year.
Okay.
We kind of do it when the weather's good. And it's a job. There's a lot of wells, and when they're checked manually, if you take the cover off of each one, you drop the tape measure down. And the tape measure, when it hits water, the little alarm goes off, and then we read what the number is at the top of the well, and we record it. And we have a lot of history of what's happening there. So you can imagine if we were to suddenly have a foot or two difference in this water depth, we would understand that there's probably some seepage happening on the dam. We better take a pretty hard look at what's happening.
At the beginning of March this year, we were in the green levels.
That's for the
Just,
flood.
just
Flood event.
from the rain and from the snow melt. So the situations do occur. You know, people said it, you know, you sitting in your house, enjoying yourself, you don't really think about it, but it's happening out there. Got to be aware of the weather. What's upstream and going to come downstream eventually.
So when I go out on the levee, they typically look for any kind of issues or problems, like riprap that got moved, or I see a sinkhole in part of the grassy area or something like that effect. Or, you know, worst case scenario, I'd see water coming out somewhere. That would probably be a bad indication. And the other side of it is just you get a feel for what it looks like if you do it enough times and what it's supposed to look like. And I would encourage you to go out there. I really would. Just go look at the thing. Understand it's a big structure. This is not a little piece of land. And when you get a grasp of what's happening with it and the magnitude of the amount of water that's being used, and if there was some kind of crazy failure, this would be an epic disaster. This would not be, you'd make national news. And you would probably do a lot of damage downstream with it and hurt a lot of people. So we have to take this kind of seriously. And I think we haven't reviewed this too much in the past. I'm not sure we've ever gone through all the stages here, but I want to make sure we hit everything without taking too much of everybody's time to do it. One of the issues that I have is Lee is on vacation. I'm in the hospital because I have some health concerns. John's on vacation in Colorado somewhere in this new van. What happens? Who takes over? Who's next on the list?
Heidi.
Heidi.
You
See,
I think it's spelled out.
it's on.
It wasn't.
She's my backup.
It's on.
She's my backup.
I know Heidi. But all actually the responsibility could fall. Steve, John, Mazer, or Cheryl, and would have to help coordinate all of these other efforts. So there's a reason why I'm going over this, because all we could have picked on. And the Lake Association has never even heard of this stuff, I don't think. Have you? They, okay. All right, so moving on, we're gonna go to these. I think these, what I call the event level determination guidance. It's gonna be in section 1-6. That's a
Hold this.
colorful.
He's really out of the loop there.
Mhm.
So table 1.1.
Yeah. Page 1.1-6, table 1.1. All right, so this, what they've done here is they've taken the events that are probable as to what could happen. There's flooding, which we've already experienced this several times, almost always in the spring. We get to the event level 3, but at that point, it's never progressed too far from that. The next one would be an earthquake, which we did have an earthquake in 2008,
Mhm.
and it did cause damage to the levee. And
To
we
the-
net,
Well, not to the levee, to the, there was a piezometer on the west side down in Mother Mercy's area, blew the piezometer right out of the ground, so it free flows now.
instead of measuring water, we take our phones out, and we take a movie of it, and then somehow the engineer assesses whether the water is coming out at the proper rate
Yeah.
or not. So that's how we fix that problem. Seepage. And seepage, this is a real possibility because we have a lot of wakeboard action here. And if you ever notice, you're walking down that levee, you'll see the riprap up on the top of the shore there. There have been instances last year when we were at a flood stage. The wind was blowing hard enough in that direction to have the water overtop the riprap. When that happens, the water is coming underneath the riprap and it's eroding that surface area underneath the riprap. So you could potentially have that water come through and damage that part of the levee. That's, I called the DNR at that point and I said, look, we got to stop all boating traffic here. We got to, and then I followed this event level 3 and called everybody on the list to see how it would work. Because I'd never done it. And I learned, I do know that the National Weather Service is gung ho. These people love emergencies. And they were ready to put out an emergency broadcast with the thing that comes on your television, that annoying noise. And this lady almost insisted that I'm ready to go. She had pencil and paper in hand and she was going to get that. I said, look, no, this is just kind of practicing. We don't want to get everybody all hyped up on this thing. It took me about 10 minutes to calm her down and not do it. So that one I wasn't too worried about. If we need her, she's available. Other people, the DNR, when I talked to the DNR, they were not available. This was a Friday. They were on vacation. They were gone for the weekend. When I needed them, they didn't come back till Monday. I had to redo everything on Monday. And that's when we finally got the no-wake notice, because the DNR has to do that. It's not something we can post. So what you'll find out when you do follow, if you do follow this in an emergency action plan, it should work. But I know this about emergencies. They never go as according to plan. It just doesn't work that way. There can be all kinds of contingencies and things that will happen that you don't expect. So I want to make sure tonight that, especially with various things like the keys to open up, do you even know what the keys do? We gotta make sure we know where those keys are. Communications, the cell tower blew down in the tornado. How do we communicate at this point? You see, there's some unanswered questions here that I want to make sure we can
Having
firm up.
gone through college, I always like the flip notes version of, there's a handy over right here in the front. I know some places here is your list of who's the pecking order to get to making the call and then who to call.
That's this.
Rather than have
That's this.
some
take one of these, but you can move it to the front. It's all in there.
It's in there somewhere.
No, it's really, you can't miss it because it's folded up in there. There you, you're in them right now.
You got phone number? Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna get to that point.
Okay.
So looking at this, we got seepage, cracking, movement. That would be interesting. Overtopping, gate failure, a blocked causeway. I don't know what incidents there would be, or in today's world, possibly even sabotage. So I don't know, most likely events are not going to be sabotage or, you know, some of these other things, but certainly flooding from a fast rainfall could occur. And an earthquake does kind of happen from time to time, and that could be the most catastrophic thing we could experience, actually.
From a flooding standpoint, we almost reached 10.5 a week or two ago, right?
We were about a half inch.
Half an inch flow. And the only thing I wanted to point out there is it's only 6 inches to event level 2 from there.
Let me make sure
That's what it says.
Correct. 917.5 to 918.
And I've got events that are around this north of here that were 13, 14 inches. And if we're already at 10 and a half, you know, we just need to be on our game, watching for what other rains coming.
Where's it measured?
at the dam.
At the spillway.
There's a USGS gauge there,
Oh,
and it's on,
Could get it out.
it's online. So we just go there and see what their
Well, let's start-
measurement is.
Done enough of this stuff, but let's go to this page then. This is the Silver Lake. This is the, so it's kind of a pure.
So if you have, I think yours is hard to read
Mhm.
because it needs to be flipped this way. So I need to switch yours to the landscape from the portrait.
So this, when you go to the USGS website, you look at the data. Right here, ours says that our normal height of average would be 915.97 feet. That's elevation from sea level. That's not what it says at the USGS. It's gonna say that it would tell you it's at 9.01. So there's a little bit of a discrepancy. We just know that the first initial flood stage, because we've done it so many, it's 10 and a half feet. We top over 10 and a half feet, we're in stage level. So at that point, usually Lee calls me and we talk. And we can see what the rain is looking like in the future roughly. And we make a decision kind of, well, do we contact all these people and start going through the motions? Or do we think it's going to subside and what's going to happen? 99% of the time, we have gotten away with it and it's not over. Gotten crazy. That doesn't mean we'd be right.
So if she's on vacation, you're in the hospital, do we follow the pecking order of the commission? You're the vice president, vice chairman, you're the what?
I'm a nothing.
So we just have the three of you.
Well, it goes that way.
Although you are the president of the town council, so you might get
Yeah.
brought in.
I'm gonna get the call anyway because I'm president of town board.
Yeah, you got it.
And actually, not here tonight.
Or ever.
Just for clarity, the way I read this is it would be Jay, me, and Lee, then Heidi. Is how I read it.
It's Jay and I at the same time, basically. It's usually me first and then I get a hold of Jay. Yes.
Don't worry about it.
Let me put it this way. It's a little bit past rainfall, and we think it's not gonna be okay. We're gonna call you. You'll be next in line.
Yeah, no, listen,
So what I did is a little math here. Thought it might be kind of interesting. So if you look at this 915.97 feet, that's been our average. When we come to the upper spillway weir, we're at what they call 10 and a half feet, 917.46. When we get up to where we have to hold, you can see then the green level and then the yellow level. They're pretty close together. And when you finally get to where we are going to open up the Dana gate, the emergency is now at, and according to USGS, would be 12.04 feet. So this could happen pretty quickly. You could go from roughly 13.54 inches then to where we have to take out the spillway plug if the Dana gate doesn't come out. And we had that, there's literally a channel that's full of riprap that we would have Eshelman come in, dig out, so that there was a free path for the water to drain around the ground. So at that point, there's not really much going back, right? We can't close the spillway at that point, but we could reclose the tank. So that would be an extreme emergency situation. But we got to try to save the dam and the levee. That's the ball. That's what we've got to do. All of this is done. If we want to open up the Dana gate, we can't make that decision. We have to get a court order. We have to have a judge sign that off. I'm assuming we know what that is.
No, we don't.
We don't.
No.
So what do we call?
Emergency
We
management.
make the decision as to whether that Tanner gate needs to be open. And he doesn't
No.
sign off on anything. It's our responsibility to make that decision. And
Yeah,
take the action.
Yeah,
We go out there with the keys and we open it. Because, I mean, our sole purpose is to make sure that that dam structure stays there in an event. So if we have to open a gate and release water to do that, then that's what we have to do. And we can't take into consideration what's happening downstream. I mean, we try to, but we can't think, oh, well, we can't open this gate because we're gonna flood them downstream. No, because if we don't open the gate,
we're gonna lose.
and
it.
then they
We're gonna lose the
get,
dam.
I don't know what, the force of the water, if you look at the inundation map, that's gonna get down there to them, that's gonna do a lot more damage than opening the gate.
Actually, from the time we go to the community elevation, it's 10.21.
It's right here on this little handy dandy
Yeah.
map.
You would have 10.21 feet of water coming downstream into.
That's crazy.
the
So dumb question. Do you open the Tanner gate slowly in that level?
Well, see, that's the other thing. We've never opened it under pressure. So we won't know until we have to do it.
We went off the lake 10 feet. That's pretty quick. It was Friday after.
Well, that was a totally different gate though.
Oh, right.
That was the old
Yeah, it was-
old gate that was there, so.
But, well, that, they made the decision, but Saturday morning. The better part of that 10 feet. No.
Yeah, you weren't getting you had to take your boat out on Friday.
So when we open the Tanner gate approximately. Do we want to ask our engineer what would happen in a normal situation? Because I wouldn't imagine we'd want to open, 10-foot water immediately going downstream.
It all depends on what is happening at the structure.
You have to protect the
If it's,
structure no matter
so
what.
here, in this case scenario, if there is a semi truck that veers off and goes into the side of that structure, you want to get as much water out of there as fast as you can. Now, under a flooding event, it's a different scenario, but under that emergency scenario, you've got to open it all the way.
And then, just for memory's sake, to try to, we have to declare at least the level 2 event before we open the Tanner gate, is that correct?
It's level 3
Level 1.
or level 1 is the one where we open the gate.
So we're not opening the Tanner gate under any circumstances on an event 3 or 2. It's always what I got it.
All right.
Brian, did you have anything to add in there? Can you hear
No, I'm
us?
having a little trouble hearing the other end of the table. I'm catching most of it and I can hear your end of the table fine.
The speaker's breathing. I don't know why I can't hear it.
Yeah.
It sounds like the speaker is connected to your computer because you're loud and clear, but then it gets more distant.
Is that not plugged on or turned on?
It may be in Zoom that you have to change the microphone. Is that hooked into your computer?
You're probably speaking Greek to me.
Hello?
So on Zoom, do you see at the bottom left, there's the microphone button?
The audio, yeah.
So click that arrow and then it'll say select microphone, select speaker. What are the options under select microphone?
Oh, we have a delay thing now going on.
The mic says it's on.
And then it'll say select.
Yeah, you're coming through to us clear now.
There. I muted him from the speaker, but the mic says it's on. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's something changed because I can hear that end of the table much better now.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, that's much better.
I can't make him any louder though, just so you know. I think he's as loud as he goes,
If you want to mute that one, we could turn it on here and turn it way up.
but he can't hear. He wouldn't be able to talk.
As it,
Yeah, I did from here.
as it just so happens,
Yeah,
Was
if
it
you,
coming through there? I think you're only hearing it through here.
No,
Right.
it's, you heard the delay because I took them off of this.
Okay, I can turn this off, but he can't hear. He wouldn't be able to.
It's a long delay though.
Yeah, it's,
yeah, if you,
Coming through there, I think.
Wow, that's a really long delay.
It's like, it's like.
Holy crow.
a decade.
Okay, I can turn this off, but he can't.
That's how long it is. It's a long delay.
yeah.
There, we'll just deal with it.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I was chatting.
Technical difficulties.
Oh, only the best.
I was chatting with Mitch Shepherd, who is a homeowner on Holmes Lake. Not really in anticipation of this meeting, it just was coincidental, but she was telling me that it's really common knowledge amongst the residents around those 3 lakes down there that they're at risk all the time, and they know they're at risk. You know, of course, the law enforcement for the county would be responsible advising them, evacuate. For you guys who are pulling the plug, you'd be working in concert with the sheriff's department or the state police to get them aware that hell's coming down the stream.
You'll see all that in the very next few pages.
Okay.
So,
Great.
all right, I just want to make you aware of this information and the amount of water that we're talking about. 10.21 feet is not a small amount of water. If you take the area of the lake, 640 acres, and you do an average depth of 10.21 feet, you can find out how many gallons of water that is. I can do it for you, but not right now.
And if the dam breaks, it will be in Ligonier in about 18 minutes.
The next few pages go through basically the notifications of what we have to try to tell people. There's some pre-scripted messages that are involved in this. And I'm guessing that it says here that communication between the RCCD members of Rome City Town employees at the dam.
What page are you on?
I'm on page 2-1.
Okay.
Where did I leave off here? The district conservation officer has portable radios that can access the Rome City Marshal's office and Noble County radio frequencies. I am not aware of who the district conservation officer is, but I assume he's on that page. That
He's
we're
on
about
this
to-
list and,
Okay.
I mean,
So the quick question came up in my head is, we have to communicate, it says the chairman by telephone unless otherwise directed by the RCCD chairman. That would be me directing me.
No, it means if you've directed somebody else in your absence,
Is that what it said?
but that's what it means, whether it says it or
You're
not.
gonna, you're
All
gonna
right.
communicate by telephone unless you say otherwise.
Okay. Then we have the district conservation officer. We've got his telephone number. Say the telephones are down. How do we communicate with these people? How do
Smoke
we?
signal.
Well,
So
that's-
this is where cell towers and phones aren't the best option.
so,
Well, these phones would still work in
Landline.
the office.
landline.
They would still work. So if you're.
But you'd have
if
to
it's-
find somebody with landline.
But if it's during the day and it's a working day, these people are all gonna have access to a landline.
I don't.
That's why you have to come here this is our
Bridges.
emergency control center right here.
The bridge is out. Levee.
Well, you're gonna have to drive around by way of Kendallville. Don't go that way because you're not getting there if you go that way. You gotta go that way.
Okay, well, I think I have kind of a suggestion, and John Clausen had mentioned this as well. How hard would it be to use or have available a couple of satellite phones? Are they expensive?
I have no clue. And I wouldn't
They're,
even know how to use, Paul knows how good I do with.
yeah, they're not gonna be cheap. And-
The other option is you've got Elon Musk, satellite, which is very inexpensive and your phone can connect to it by Wi-Fi and make calls.
Well, and I think
Your cell phone?
I
the
miss
emergency
BBs.
management person, if he was here,
CBs
he
were so
probably
great.
already went through all these scenarios, don't you think, Gabe?
Standby at $5 a month. So, and you could actually use it even on standby.
Is this something that we have to sign up for, like a
It's a subscription,
subscription?
yeah.
And you said
Starlink,
it's $5 a month.
$5 a month to be on standby. Just activate it and it would handle, I don't know how many phones it would handle, but quite a few. But you would connect to it with Wi-Fi and do Wi-Fi calling over it by satellite.
I don't know that that's a bad idea, because if we're out, your job's to protect the dam and the levee. I'm likely to be here, you're likely to be here or over there.
Right.
Out in the field looking at this mess. Being able to use your cell phone would be awfully handy to be able to communicate to these people, because you might hear stuff back like such and such road is closed, we couldn't get through there, you know, what are our alternatives, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know that that's something we don't want to put on our agenda to talk about at the next meeting, or perhaps joining Starlink. Is that what it's called?
I
Elon
can
Musk.
put it on my list to do to bring you some information on it for the next meeting.
Please do. All right, moving on. Pre-scripted messages, we can skip that stuff. It's just written down.
Well, because those same messages are right here.
Yep.
All on this page.
Well, you and I should kind of, you, I, and John should probably at some point maybe look at this public affairs plan. It's not real in depth here or anything. But we do have to tell somebody what's going on. All right, now we're gonna get to these handy dandy fold out pages. And you're gonna see they're color coded as green, yellow, and red. When you fold this out, you'll see a flow chart. Basically explaining the process of what happens if there's an emergency. We now have an unusual event slowly developing. Probably a lot of rain. We've been here several times. So you
I
can
don't
see at
have
the
a
top,
green.
you have agreed.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
You want one of these?
No, I don't have one.
So you don't have to open that.
So here we are. You go
Those are
into this,
updated.
uh,
If they're in that book, they're updated. You're in the new book.
Rome City Conservancy District Chairman, that would be me. And then you have alternate contact. You can see the Vice Chairman, John Clausen. Nothing new. And then Leanne Pranger. From there, it flows down to the Rome City Town Council, Cheryl Clifton. You're next on there. You see where you are?
Yeah.
And then the Rome City Town Manager, which would be Lee Pranger, or the Clerk Treasurer, Heidi Lang. I can tell you right at this moment, Heidi has no clue of what this is. Nor could she direct any of this stuff at this point. It's not that she couldn't, she just doesn't have the information.
Well, she was at the last tabletop exercise that we had.
She's seen that.
No,
She had?
is she?
Yeah. She has a book,
Okay.
just like I have a book, but she was at the last tabletop.
So then we would call the first person I would call is I would start from and read it left to right as I went through this. I would start to call the engineer, Brian McKenna, at his telephone number, and you probably would reach him more likely at his cell number. And then we would call the Noble County Sheriff's Department. Most likely at this point, I would not call 911. I would call just the dispatch number. Max Weber is about to retire. He's been term limited out, so we don't know who the sheriff will be, but the election's coming up in November. And then from there, we would call the IDNR. And I have talked to these people one other time. And they do take the weekends off. So they kind of there.
So what I do is usually before we get to event 3, we're in an email conversation, which we were for this last one. So we had dam safety from IDNR,
All the
conservation was on that
Yep.
chain, and you and I think.
But did we contact you? Did you get contact?
Yeah,
You did.
this last time, like, I
Oh,
don't
you
think
did?
you were on that.
No,
I don't think she was on that because
no, I was on the one.
they weren't they're not everybody's notified until we're at event level 3.
Yeah, right.
So
All right.
we're always talking with Indiana Conservation and Dam Safety before we get to those events.
And then you'll look and see the IDNR, Dam Levy Safety People, which he mentioned. And then I mentioned earlier the National Weather Service. I don't know that I would call these people at event level 3.
Well, I've called them to find out what the forecast is,
Yeah, probably.
so that we know if we need to go to 3 or not. And I wouldn't necessarily call them and say, hey, we have a situation developing, because they do get a little overzealous, and just kind of get what the forecast of how much precipitation we're gonna get if it's in a flooding event.
Good thing to learn that. So we just say, hey, just look for the forecast, that's it.
Which I just go to the Weather Channel on my phone. I guess what's that?
They have flood models there. I used to work with them. So if we are ever in a pinch where there's been a lot of rain, they can model what it would look like if we had another 3 inches or 6 inches, or maybe you already have that, but I'm just saying they have models.
But I don't have that, but it'd be good to know.
Yep.
So
You
then,
should get nervous, yours on the last of the list,
I see.
which means everybody's gonna dump.
Paul already knows it. I've already talked.
yeah,
Huh?
and if we do,
We're gonna let Paul have it all. Get you a basket ready.
that's the whole.
A basket case.
Baskets, for all the crap. you
That's
keep
not
Right.
Shoveling it in there.
Mhm.
currently correct.
So just for clarity, we don't call the Noble.
The 5,000 emails that you didn't get prior to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They call, the sheriff department actually coordinates all the rest of that.
That's
At
perfect.
the
Thanks for that clarification. Good question.
You had asked that earlier. Yeah.
Paul's already gonna know,
Mhm.
Paul would know.
because we talk in here.
Yeah. He's usually telling me.
I usually find out at breakfast sometime.
And-
And usually the emergency management person is usually already in contact with me, although that didn't happen this last time.
Cause I know when I worked nights, back when Steve was here, when we had lots of rainfall and stuff, you had me checking the water clarity coming out of some of the drain pipes down there to see if it was muddy water or
Right.
any issues with
Fresh water,
Any-
muddy water.
yeah.
Things
If
are
some
moving,
fish were coming out with it.
then we're in trouble.
That would be bad.
And you know, I always think it's really great that you're down there at the bottom of the dam,
Right.
checking it.
Yeah.
When you think it might go, that's always very safe.
Finger.
How much you respect you, should
Right.
be right in harm's danger.
Yep.
Harm-
Okay. So now, I want to review event level 2 is basically the same thing. However, things have gotten quite serious now. And there's likely to already be lots of flooding downstream, even though we haven't opened up the dam or the levee at all.
Okay, thank you.
They probably think, but
Always think.
that area, there's a flood inundation map that Lee has here. If you look at this thing,
And they are not in all the books, because I was just talking with Brian about getting some more.
you see the blue
Made.
and the pink and the yellow areas. That's probably the flood. This is the flood problem you're gonna experience if that dam gate opens. Now, a lot of this will already be flooded because the drainage.
Under a flooding event, yeah.
under-
I'm trying to get my. Okay, here's-
So most likely, if we have to declare an event under 3 or 2, they're already gonna be probably under an evacuation order on a flooding event.
Hopefully, yeah, doesn't happen real fast.
Which means that
That's only one scenario.
all the
56 minutes.
process of what the emergency managers got set out for the evacuation of West Lakes is already in motion
But that's
so-
only one scenario. It's only
for flooding, yeah.
for a big rain event.
Yeah,
It's
this-
different.
That most likely that's
the dam, and yeah,
gonna
that's
be
house.
Well,
But if there's an earthquake,
this.
it's a different kind of event.
There's
Correct.
no flooding. So the hope would be that this is always some rainfall event because it's a slow evolving.
Right.
event, that we can prepare for that. We can get people out. We can do all these
All
other
of that.
things. There's some kind of crazy
Yeah.
sabotage or there's some kind of earthquake problem or God knows what else could happen. So a truck hits the levee or something to that effect. This could all happen like right now, really fast. And those people will be totally and completely unaware of their situation. And they would be at dire straits at some point. Our only job in this is to report that this is where we're at. It's a level 2, it's a level 3, it's a level 1. And once we report those things to the appropriate parties, it's really up to the sheriff. Well, a lot of it falls on the sheriff's department and
And the
DNR
emergency management.
and the emergency management people to get those people out of the way. I believe we would probably still want to stay in communication with them pretty constantly in order to say.
Well, this town hall would probably be the emergency
Center.
center where everybody would come. They're probably gonna have to have an on-site center somewhere closer to where they're trying to evacuate people.
Well, so the fire department will be, and not just Orange Township, but I'll be in
Ligonier.
Ligonier. They'll all be responsible in assisting with evacuating, going door to door, all that good stuff. The sheriff's department primarily will probably be setting up roadblocks and closing down roads till whether county highway, state highway, whatever the case may be, can do to put up barricades and block things off. So, but yeah, I mean, this would be your primary emergency operations center. And then they would do a secondary closer to the areas that's impacted.
Mhm.
We're gonna have to have eyes on the levee and the dam at some point, though. We're gonna have to see it. It's gonna have to be monitored. It's not gonna be like we can just sit in here and, you know.
Right.
We gotta have some
Well,
eyes on it
one
somewhere.
person would be in here. Another person would be out there, and it could be it could be just one of the town workers too. Wouldn't necessarily have to be one of us. But a thought just popped in my head. We probably ought to have Wilkesville looped in on this, because if we have to
Transfer
stop
everything.
traffic on 9,
That's,
you're gonna wanna
that
stop it.
was part of the reason why I bought the barricades I did, because by the time the state highway department can get somebody with barricades,
Yeah, if that's the case, and
we could put
I've done
those on
this.
a trailer
I've got
and
emergency
block off State
management,
Road
emergency
9.
Here.
But I'm saying if that's starting to go, you don't
Yeah.
wanna be going through there, but
Yeah.
we probably need to loop them in for the next tabletop.
Some good kind of boots, they're probably waterproof, because you're gonna get wet during this
Yeah.
stage. The other thing is too, you wanna be really aware of what you're doing. If you've got a seepage on the levee and it starts to go fast or something that happens, and you're standing on top of the levee, you're putting yourself in potential harm's way. You gotta think this through.
Couple comments. So
Yeah.
what often is helpful, and I'm not saying I'm a professional like this, is just training, is that whoever's in charge for Rome City Conservancy or for the IEAP should be wearing something that makes them stand out, so it's blatantly obvious, would help everybody. And the same thing if we're out on the levee, something would show that we're an official part of the organization, because the police are gonna be out there wanting to keep us away from it.
Can you get us some stickers
Yeah, so something
that we
like
can
that,
stick on our vest?
Stickers. I love stickers.
Stickers.
we can figure it out, but
Why don't we just
You
get
can-
something
you can-
made?
Yeah, you can get some vests made that identify.
yeah, or also, I mean, vest is a good
I
idea.
want to stick-
We might wanna think about lanyards and ID tags. It's just something to think about.
So I think that's a real good idea. I have a couple of construction hard hats and, that, when we built buildings that said Steve Smith and the practice name on it and stuff like that. So then people would look and know, oh. this is
I
it.
had
So put it on your hard hat as well as your vest.
I had one
Real
that said
good idea.
president at the BS Trimax, but I didn't wear it because it would throw stuff at me.
I can understand why.
Yeah, but all those things
Changed through time.
can be put on a vest.
Not retired.
So my last quick comment would be, do we want to ask the county if they think this is a large enough room for an emergency operations center? It's still a question.
So you're gonna need all the people that you're gonna have in here operating. Which would be Lee, Jay, or whoever he's got his designee.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to have secretaries taking notes. So plenty of, I know we got the dry erase board, but, post-it notes, yeah, absolutely. So you, EMA would probably set up in here.
They also don't they have that portable? They'll probably take that down.
I would think they would take
To
that
down there.
someplace, yeah. EMA, the sheriff, DNR, I mean, they would all establish, because they're gonna need, whether it's phone, internet, they're all gonna have to have access to something. Obviously, this is I think would be the best location,
Have
unless they,
generator
or the-
Infrastructure-wise and
or-
space-wise.
or Orange Township.
Yeah.
The community room down there would be.
The
just
problem with
a little
that,
bit more room.
it is a little bit more room, but the problem with being down there is that they're gonna have
Yeah, so you're
the
gonna,
firemen,
you're gonna have other departments.
and you're gonna have other departments
Yeah.
there. And so they could
And-
send
and
one
try-
person,
And
they could
because of their
send one
kitchen and
person
stuff
here.
there, they're gonna be trying to feed their environment
hmm
and take care of their men.
Yeah,
Just something that we can maybe noodle on. And do you think that our mobile unit can just fit in our parking lot out here, so we're in proximity?
I think
If
they're gonna
they-
want it closer to their evacuation area.
yeah, if they set it
Oh,
up
that's
here,
their
or they
choice.
set it up closer down there, yeah. So it just depends.
Well, they could have a person in here though, representing the thing.
And just
Yeah.
for my own.
It's probably gonna
information,
be
the
Ann.
flow level out of here is
my
by the
guess.
news boxes. It
His
says
Second,
Alden Lake and the rest of the West Lake chain. So, Jones, Steinbarger, and I forget what the third lake is.
Tamarack.
Tamarack, it would flow through there and then over to Waldron. Is that the way the river goes.
Where's that inundation map you had? It tells you.
Mhm.
We're going that way.
Very good.
Roberta, you learn anything?
That's, no, Sylvan is not on that picture.
Right, it's right.
It's
Yeah.
right here.
Mhm.
But you also can't forget the Elkhart River and going to Cosperville.
Oh, never mind.
Well, maybe that's something to add. Just for communication's sake, it would be good. People on these lakes or maybe get that out.
You know, it'd be nice is to see a simulation of what would happen. Like a computer simulation of how it flowed, what the water did.
Yeah.
Well, that's basically what they did to get that
Right,
map.
and then it does say that the blue areas have I think 56 minutes. And then another 23 minutes before the red areas, the pink areas get hit.
Yeah, that's not very long.
No.
Mhm.
This is a wood thing, but so. Trying to think, so it looks like Tamarack is first.
Okay, so the first, we're going this way.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm upside down, sorry.
Mhm.
Jones Lake is,
The first.
Yeah. You want me to, Jones Lake Road is right here, so I'm kind of
Okay.
deducing that. You want me to turn it around? Would that help?
Yeah.
Because now it's like the real way.
okay. So Jones Lake is here.
Yep.
This is Waldron. This is Steinberger.
Yeah.
This is
There you
Tamarack.
just go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well,
Down here, Ogden and
You can only choose.
And then it can go on up.
It gets a little.
yeah, I know.
Well, you know, you met a professor.
It's good lake. Mhm.
The Indian Lakes chain.
That
That's
is,
it. That's not, that's not.
What's that part? of
That's
it?
Oliver and Atwood.
Those are further.
Yeah.
He said over by Cootie Brown's.
What is above?
yeah, Oliver's not it.
Oliver's
It's above.
Dallas, but it's all,
Whitmer,
yeah, but it's all part of
Yeah, that's right.
Whitmer, Atwood, and,
Westler.
Westler, yep,
We're all.
West-
Oliver's separate from that.
okay,
and they're all
That's
part
the
of.
one that threw me. Oliver's up
and
here.
Hackenberg.
Now, what,
Hackenberg someplace else.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Hackenberg.
It's part of that chain.
Question.
Yes, sir.
This is all happening. You're gonna get notified.
It's a small lake, but it's at the end of the chain.
Oh,
Like-
okay.
I think we should.
Probably.
The next thing the
Had a
question
nice little
I have,
restaurant and store in there.
emergency plan and all
Used to stop
for
with them.
The Lake Association. With your bus.
No.
Okay.
My bus traveled.
What do we think would be the emergency on the lake?
A couple of things that.
I was
think
350
could
plus
apply to
miles a day in that bus.
The Lake Association. One is docks.
Yeah.
Boats. It says in here
For
that we're
30
to
years.
notify people. But I think the Lake Association can do a better job because you know who the people are.
Yeah.
And they need to tie their boats
Yeah,
down.
no accidents.
In a
no
flooding
injuries.
event. They need to tie their docks down, their piers,
No tickets.
anything that can float away. One of the things that always comes up at the Homeland Security meeting is that this this amount of docks and boats and stuff start flowing, heading towards the dam, and blocks the dam. That the underpass.
He estimated my miles at.
We can't, if it blocked it enough, it's pretty shallow over there, so if
But that
it
didn't
current
include the
would
70
drag stuff
years of
underneath there and it wasn't,
Subdriving.
you know,
that I did,
it
where I
stops the
subbed
flow.
the entire
Opening up the
fleet
dam
for
and the
sub-
spillway doesn't do anything.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Still
'cause
got
it's
the,
restricted.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the question becomes, what do we do there? And I think Max said that he would just dynamite it. I think that was his solution. But it is a real issue.
It is.
And so
We do that already.
we
on our
dynamite it.
piers. No, our piers.
Not be dynamite.
He ties down all our piers with zip ties.
Right.
Always. Every year we've done that.
For the whole.
Tie it to your
The post.
stanchion posts so that the top pier part does not float off.
Boats.
The boats that are in the sock. That's correct, it won't work.
Well, those shouldn't go away. We're talking about the pier itself, the
Just floating away.
thing that floats off because the water level's so high, it just floats right off. And like a jet ski, for instance,
Poster and sockets, when the pier lifts.
it shouldn't lift it out of that socket.
Well, hopefully you don't have a.
Shouldn't lift out of that.
You're not.
You can put concrete blocks on it. We've done that too. Mhm, to keep them from
But
floating
the
off.
reason I mentioned this mostly is because this is one of those contingency things that you're not gonna see it coming.
This could be the Murphy's Law thing.
Well, jet skis are the worst because people think they've got them up on their lift. And then they go away they go home for the week and they know they've got rain coming in, but they don't do anything about tying their boats on or tying their jet skis down. And then the jet skis are out floating all over.
You're the, got one?
No, I
Okay.
had a pontoon come off.
Yeah, right, we
Ended
saw
up
that.
down by the.
Yeah, blew off the
Mhm.
lift.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that.
So Jay, when do you think that they should be notified? What event level?
I think event level 2, we're already. that's-
3,
Well-
if we go to 3, everybody should, if they're not tying them down when they put them in, as far as the piers, then definitely at 3, they need to do it. And then for the boats and stuff, you need to put an extra, you know, clip on it so they don't float off.
In this plan, it says. We can change that. to
I
event level
feel
3
like
if you'd like.
it,
If it-
you're really high up to the piers already at event level 3. And there already are problems with people losing stuff at event level 3, so I think can make sense to get
Mhm.
communication.
And it, you know, also if you think about how many people like us that live on the lake versus the people that don't live on the lake. So how are they gonna get a hold of their neighbor to help get that tied down? Or can they get up here in time to tie it down?
Probably not, because they didn't get here when we had to take the water out of the lake.
Or if they're
Well,
in
that's-
Chicago.
Yeah, if there's Chicago or St. Louis, that's not gonna.
So
I'm just gonna reiterate this. At some point, I would think that the Lake Association might want to have at least a small 1 or 2 page, maybe emergency action plan.
Okay.
That if you got notified, you would be able to, because you know the people who are on,
Mhm.
you know, all the names. Who pays their bills and who doesn't. And so, you know.
I would just tell everybody to zip tie their piers regardless.
Well, see that this is one reason. So we have a good number of people's email addresses. But this is a reason we could maybe get them to, people that don't want to get an email. Well, this is a reason that you ought to be doing this. I don't know if we could get a text thing going exactly, which would be faster.
It's been my experience too, that most people don't know how to tie a knot to save themselves.
Well, that's true.
So.
Zip
if-
ties. You
if
don't have to tie knot.
True, but I think it's almost like an IKEA kit. You almost have to be able to show people, this is how you do it. And send out a flyer that says, look, this is a real serious problem. You could cause it. This is what it looks like. This is how you do it.
And look
It
out
does
for your
not
neighbor,
have to,
too.
but it's gotta be simple and people have to be able to follow this. That does not happen, and we start seeing a whole bunch of boats out there in the middle of the water, somebody's gotta get out in the middle of the lake, like during this flood stage,
Yeah,
and start hauling boats
agreed.
with grappling hooks or whatever it is, and trying to pull them out with horsepower to get them out from underneath the dam, whether that's even possible
I
or not,
agree.
I have no idea.
Well, if we're seeing stuff float before it gets there, we should be in there getting them.
Right.
Intercepted.
Fortunately, we don't have so much current usually that's gonna like haul over there. We got some time, but if we're seeing stuff floating away, we should go get it.
Okay, all right, thank you for your time there. I
But
appreciate
are
it.
we agreeing to make a note that we want to consider event level 3 as our?
I
Time to
think we
communicate
should
that.
change that in the book, yes.
Mhm.
I agree with that. All right, so our job really doesn't change that much as the Conservancy District. We're still communicating to the same people, and those people then may have more boxes, more people to call, but our responsibility doesn't really get much wider in any of these phases. The stage 3
When we go from
or stage 1, I'm
3 to 2 though, we still recall all these people that let them know we went to 2.
Correct.
Now, here's where it gets a little more interesting, and this is still, I have a little bit of confusion on my part here.
Now, what page are you on?
I'm on, we're on event level 1 notification, all the stuff is really what the thing is.
It hit the fan, we're in trouble.
Somewhere in here, there are keys to open up the meeting.
I have them.
You have both of them?
Mhm.
All right. According to the book, that's not the case. And according to this contact page, unless it's been updated, one, on the left is over. Oh. Okay, I understand now. All right,
Are you looking at the Rome City Town Manager has access to the same left key as the RCC chairman?
I don't have access to it.
Okay.
You come to the building, you can have access to the key.
Basically, it's in this building.
Yeah, it is. One half of it. The other half is at the sheriff department in the hotel. Am I reading that right? That's
Mhm.
correct.
You are reading that right.
Okay, moving on. Well, that pretty much summarizes what we've got to do here. And also, at the end of this, I assume once the event's over, we've got to reconnoiter and kind of review the whole process and find out what went right and what went wrong. And at that point, we make some modifications, but that is in a nutshell the problem that we could possibly face here. And so I appreciate your time in reviewing this. It's been a little bit overdue. And if you go back and you think of more things that are helpful, I would really, really appreciate it. I don't care what ideas you have. That's just, let's get this down and let's get it right. Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate your time. Good job.
Whatever. Is there, if we focus on reading this, what's in this?
That's what you wanted on the district plan. You were gonna pick it up.
Yeah, thank you.
Any questions, comments, criticisms, or complaints?
So the flooding at the Elkhart River, the North Branch, I think is still active. We have an enhanced threat for severe storms tomorrow
Correct.
with the heavy rainfall.
And our ground is already partially saturated.
So
So we might be doing this sooner rather than later.
How timely.
What time?
What's the level right now?
Down considerably.
One of the ways to tell how the ground is doing is there are dead worms on the sidewalk.
Oh,
When you start drowning the worms,
So
You know, it's bad.
the event for tomorrow was a slight risk this morning. It's now been elevated to
enhanced.
enhanced risk.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out, but we are definitely gonna get something.
Yeah.
I don't know how much water we're getting, rain we're getting, but they're calling for hail and possible tornadoes.
Well, yeah,
And 70-mile-an-hour winds,
Yeah.
which was 60 early this morning.
yeah, 70-mile-an-hour.
6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
I gotta tell you, it was real rough getting out of my basement the other night.
Yeah.
I thought I might have to call. I've fallen and can't get up out of that basement.
Not bad.
Yeah, it was.
Mm.
Oh,
Maybe
I
we're
got it.
gonna have to tie a rope around me and haul me
Well,
out.
asking the next day if it was a real thing.
Yeah.
I said, well, we don't test the siren in the middle of the night.
Well, no,
See what the district, I got.
it was 11:05 when it went on. Yeah.
Good.
We need some more, I think we need more coverage.
We're at
Probably from the north
9.69
side that
feet
we've
right
got.
now.
But even though,
Uh,
it appeared that nothing was happening, the rotation was still there.
Mhm.
And a tornado can drop out regardless whether there's any rain or hail or
Right.
anything else.
Yeah.
As long as that rotation is there, that's all you gotta have.
And that's what happened back in Illinois.
We-
And
we have
even when I got into
both
Indiana,
inches,
like it just kind of came out of
as much
nowhere.
as-
Yeah.
Okay, Brian's looking
Driving
like he
out
can't
there.
understand anything that's going on. So if we are done with Brian, I'm gonna let him go before he loses his mind.
Hey, Brian, thank you.
Hey, no problem. I do have one other thing to add. I think
Okay, it's
Liz
bad.
did a great job of covering communication plan. I just would also point out the next section section 3 is what is the next step, right? So after you've executed that communication plan, section 3 includes what are called action data sheets. So if you turn to page 3-1, that has a legend for
3-1 people.
looks like the original table where of the event level detection, where you rank the severity of a condition based on the type of event. That table then here now 3-1 shows you what page to go to in section 3, depending on the type of event. So if you had a seepage event that you classified as an event level 3, you're going to go to action data sheet C3. You're going to turn a few pages, and that gives a whole list of actions that should be done after the notifications are done. The first step in this list of action items is always making the notifications, but then it's got a list of suggested things for monitoring and communicating and doing and planning and responding to each of those events as the event level upgrades or downgrades from 3 to 2 to 1 and back down. So just remember that it doesn't end with the communications, that you do want to move on to those action data sheets.
Yeah, you're right.
Pull that sheet out and follow that for the next step.
Okay, thanks, Brian, for pointing that out.
Yep, thank you.
No problem.
So for those, if you didn't hear what he said you have to go to the next section, which is the action data. So the colors match the original sheet that we had out there. Paul had it out earlier.
Yeah.
And so if the event is a flooding event and we're thinking we're going to do event level 3, then you go to the action data sheet A3, and it tells you what you need to do once you've made those contacts. So, for instance, Paul talked about possible seepage. So it talks about going out to the structure and looking for any muddy water in the tow drains, any increased seepage, erosion, cracking. So somebody will be down there and somebody would be here. And then
One of those
calls out each thing that you need to be looking at and other people you need to talk to. So I think it's a user-friendly document. You just have to use it a couple times to.
It is quite well done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just important to remember that to go back to the checklist, things like this, right? When that emergency hits, everybody's going to be running every direction, and it's easy to let little things slip through the cracks. That's exactly why you want to have a written checklist of things that you need to do so that nothing falls through the cracks during those moments of chaos.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for.
All right, Brian, I think you're good.
Again.
Thank you very much.
All right. Sounds good. We'll be in touch about what else
I'll be in touch about some of these
needs to change.
updates.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
So I need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
All those.
Aye.
And which meeting did this fall on?
One of the things, I know we just adjourned, but